3 years ago today, I started my business, Rooshock Accounting. It's celebration time, and I'm going to talk to you all about the journey of growing a business from scratch, some of the positives I've had, and definitely some of the challenges I've faced along the way. Hello everyone, my name is Ethan Rooshock, and today's a special day for me because it is 3 years since I launched Rooshock Accounting, 3 years since I started my own business. It's been a challenge, but it's been such a great learning process, and I feel like I've now built the business up where it's bringing in new clients, I'm providing good service to customers, and I'm really enjoying the process. So this business was started from scratch. I started with $0 of revenue. There was no clients. I didn't have a whole bunch of clients I bought from a previous firm or anything like that. It was literally started with nothing, going, okay, how can I bring in my first customer? Because obviously straight away from the start of a business, you take on some kind of upfront expenses, you take on those initial ongoing subscriptions, etc. So it was a real challenge to go, okay, I need to start bringing in revenue from day one. So what I'm going to do is talk about year 1, year 2, year 3, talk about some of the lessons and some of what was happening in those years and how we got to the stage of the end of year 3 where we are now. So year 1 was definitely a challenge. Like I said, I need to bring in revenue. I had nothing. And I did really struggle with it. I'll be honest that it was really hard to bring in those first clients. I really was like, how can I actually get clients? I don't have any, you're not getting any word of mouth referrals from existing clients. How can you start marketing in an already saturated market where everyone already has an accountant? How can I bring people across to me? And it definitely was a challenge, and it was a really slow process in year 1. One of the things I really did focus on this time was building the foundations. What processes could I put in place? What could I template? I looked into a lot of different software options to try and do automation and make sure I had good processes. So that was a really big focus to me in year 1, was building those initial foundations so that when a client did come, I had a good onboarding system. I could provide good service to them. I had the right software to be able to do tax returns, etc. and made sure I'd researched that really thoroughly so that whole process was going to be smooth. So while I didn't have a lot of client work to work on, I really just worked on the business. This is definitely a challenge because a lot of software come with costs, and when you don't have clients, my main focus was just bringing enough client revenue to cover costs. I was working another job at the time, so I didn't need to live off the business, which was really good from a cash flow point of view because I could pump every dollar back into the business. I wasn't afraid to take on a software cost, even if I didn't really know whether it was really necessary at that time. If it was something I knew I was going to use in the long term, and I knew I needed that software to be able to implement what I wanted to do, I just took it on and worked out, okay, I need to get another client in so I can cover that cost. And it was right at the end of year 1 going into year 2 that I decided to start this YouTube channel. So I started the YouTube channel in, I think it was about the 7th of September, so almost a full year into business. And the YouTube channel was something I felt I could do to be productive, to go, okay, well, I'm not doing a lot of client work. Let's produce some content that may be helpful for some of my clients in the future. Let's answer some of those common questions I'm getting all the time. So that was the initial focus of the YouTube channel. And it then started to bring clients in, which was really unexpected. So it probably wasn't until about early January of the next year, so about 3 or 4 months into the YouTube journey, where I actually started bringing a few client referrals, and they were actually through people I had met through YouTube. So it wasn't necessarily through people watching the videos, but it was through connections I made from YouTube. And then about 3 to 6 months later, I started to get an influx of leads from YouTube saying, hey, I watched one of your videos, can you help me with this? And that was when I triggered wow, actually, this is actually working. It's a long game, we were talking there 6 to 9 months already of doing YouTube, but leads started to come in. And by this stage, the business had started to grow a bit. So I started to see more regular clients coming in because in that first year, it wasn't uncommon to go a couple of weeks with no new client inquiries. That's the reality of starting a business from scratch. Everyone thinks it's going to be easy, but it's generally not. There are going to be weeks where you won't get any inquiries. That's the reality of starting a business from zero. So it was good to start getting a steady, and it wasn't lots. It wasn't, someone every day, but it might have been 2 or 3 a week, and this was consistent. So starting to get that client base to build up while still providing the same level of service to the existing clients, which is really important to me. And then what started to happen towards the end of year 2 is you had been providing service to clients and they were happy with it. So you started to get word of mouth referrals. And this is where a business can really snowball into a bigger business, is once you start getting more and more happy customers, they start talking to more and more people, and that customer case keeps growing at a quicker speed. So this was a really important goal for me because I knew a lot of accountants grew their businesses via word of mouth. And you obviously can't grow word of mouth with 0 clients. So once you start getting clients, that starts to happen. And I found the word of mouth referrals were the most likely to convert into actual customers. So I think that's a key thing for anyone that's starting a business, is knowing that providing good service to your existing customer is your number one way to grow your business, because one, they'll keep coming back, which is vital to your business maintaining and actually staying steady, but also they will likely talk to their friends, talk to their family and go, hey, look, I've got a good accountant. They're really good for me. Just in general conversation, and suddenly you might pick up 1 or 2 people from them. And suddenly now you've got 1 or 2 more people that might talk positively about you. So it's that positive customer service and really going above and beyond is the easiest way to grow a business in the long term. Something I have found, especially in year 2 and year 3, that some of that processes I put place in year 1 weren't any good. You had to tweak them. You don't know until you start doing these things. So I'm constantly tweaking the processes and really trying to build on that and looking at every single thing that's happening in the business and going, can I make that any better? What can I do to make the customer experience better? What can I do to make my time more efficient? Because the more efficient I can be, the better I can be on pricing with clients. So I'm constantly looking at ways to improve on the business processes while also looking to grow. And that comes down to the 3 main focuses that I'm going to be focusing on beyond this 3-year anniversary is existing customers and the customer service. So that has to be maintained at all times. There's no point growing if I can't provide the same level of service to my current customers as what I'm going to be able to provide to the future ones. It's making sure I'm continuing to tweak systems. So I want to make sure that systems are improving so that I can be more efficient, I can provide better service, etc. And then growth will naturally happen. So if I can hit those first 2 things, I know that the third thing will happen. So I just really want to take this time to thank every single one of you that's either been a client from day 1, well, there was only a couple of you around there, but a client from year 1, or have watched 1 minute of one of my YouTube videos. All of that is support to me. So the best way you can support me is watch the YouTube videos, share them around, talk to friends and family if you're a happy customer, appreciate that. Give me feedback on if there's things you want me to cover on YouTube, or whether maybe there's a process in the business that you think I could improve on from a customer point of view. But I really enjoy working with every one of you. I enjoy producing these videos to talk to a broader view of you, and I really appreciate your support. Thank you, and let's go for year 3 and beyond. I can't wait to see what happens next.